Then we're going to take a bit of the bend in our knees so that our legs are a little bit relaxed. We're going to bring the hands in front of us. And as we inhale, we're going to really expand the hands out. And as we exhale, bring the hands back towards one another. So inhale, really expand the hands out, expand the chest. Exhale, bring that back in. Inhale to really expand the chest, expand the arms. Exhale, squeeze that air all the way back out again. Inhale, the deepest inhale you've done all day. Really fill up those lungs. Exhale, squeeze it back. Inhale, really take a deep breath all the way into the belly. Expand the chest. Exhale, bring the hands back together. Inhale, really expand, expand, expand. Exhale, bring the hands back together. One more, the biggest inhale of the day. Really in, expand the chest, expand the ribs, expand the belly. And then exhale, push the air all the way back out again. Excellent, well done. Okay, I'm going to inhale the arms up above us. It's up to you whether you keep your feet at hips width distance or whether you have your feet closer together. It's entirely up to you as to what feels more comfortable. But we're going to inhale, really stretch up through the fingers towards the ceiling. And I'm going to bend over towards the left, really opening the right armpit up towards the ceiling, really stretching down this side body. Couple of breaths here. Excellent, nice big inhale, pull the core in, and on the exhale, come back up to center. Beautiful control, guys. So inhale again, really stretch up through the fingers, and then exhale this time over towards the right. Really opening up that left armpit towards the ceiling, opening up the side body, so we're really getting a nice big stretch from our fingers down to the side of our hip. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, pull the belly in and come back up to center. Excellent. Let the hands come down. Have a little wiggle and a jiggle wherever you feel like you need to. And then we're going to come down onto our knees and onto our toes. So make sure that those toes are tucked under, because we're going to have a little toe stretch. And if your toes aren't stretched enough there, you can move your knees forward slightly. I won't go the whole way and freak you all out with my bendy toes. But we're going to have those toes tucked under. We're going to bring our arms up into cactus. Because I know some of you have missed my hand claps because we've not been able to be in class together. So we're going to do some hand claps. So really clap those fingers into the palms. Try and make sure that you're making some sort of noise with your clapping. And we're going to go a little bit faster. Really open and close those hands. Stretch the fingers out in between. Come on, you know you can do that. Yes, that's much better. Well done. Okay, now bring the elbows together. Keep those claps going. And then take the elbows out to the sides. And then maybe take the hands out to the sides. Really stretch the arms out. And then maybe take them up above the head. And then maybe bring your arms back to cactus. And we're going to do a few more. 10, 9, 8. Come on, keep going. You can do it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. 1.5. 1. Excellent. Well done, guys. Give your hands a little shake. And then also coming up off your toes, either tap your toes on the floor to release them off or squidge them, whatever feels best for you. Then we are going to sit down on our toes and we're going to stretch our toes in the other direction. So put your hands somewhere that makes sense for you. And essentially what we're going to do is keep the toes on the floor and lift the knees up as far as is comfortable. in order to stretch those toes out. So that might be down here, it might be all the way up here. It depends on how flexible your toes are. And yes, it's crucifying. I'd much prefer to stretch my toes out the other way. So bring the knees back down, walk the hands forward, and give those toes a squidge or a tap. Excellent, well done. Okay, so now we're in our tabletop position. We're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. I'm going to stretch the left leg out behind us. We're then going to touch that left leg down towards the floor. We're going to open the hip up towards the ceiling and bring the left hand onto that hip too. If you're comfortable there, we're then going to lift the left leg off the floor. So you're balancing on the right shin and the right hand. Pull the belly in, really trying to open up that hip. And if you're comfortable there, you can reach the hand up towards the ceiling as well. Take a nice big breath here. Excellent. As you exhale, bring the hand back to your hip, touch the toe down to the floor, and then bring your hand back down to the floor. Take the hip square and bring the knee down. We're then going to move to the other side. I'm just moving around so I can still see you guys. So this time we're going to take the right leg out behind us. And then touch the right toes down towards the floor. Take the right hip up towards the ceiling, so you're opening up the hips, and then bring the right hand to that hip. Ground down through the shin bone, ground down through the hand, and if you feel comfortable there, then lift the back leg. You can keep the toes down if that's easier for your balance. And if you feel comfortable here, keeping the core pulled in, keeping the breath fluid, take the right hand up towards the ceiling and squidge all of your muscles around your bones. The tighter your muscles are around your bones, the easier it will be to hold this position. Nice big inhale here. Take the right foot back to the floor, right hand back to the hip. Bring the knee down, bring the hand down. Excellent. Okay, so a little bit of core work. So we're going to take the left arm out in front of us, the right leg out behind. So we've got opposite arm and leg out. Pull the core in and make a really strong line of energy from the tip of the left fingers to the toes of the right foot. Nice big inhale here. On the exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, stretch it back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Put the hand down, put the knee down. Then we'll move to the other side. So a nice big inhale, and take the right arm out in front of you, and then take the left leg out behind. As you inhale, really stretch through the fingers and stretch through the toes, so you have a long line of energy. As you exhale, bring the elbow to the knee. Inhale to stretch it out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Oops. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it back out. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Take the hips back into child's pose and have a little rest here for a couple of breaths. Excellent. Coming back up onto all fours. We're going to stretch the left leg out behind us. And as you exhale, bring it into a cactus. So if I go this way, I exhale the leg out behind me, and then I bring it out to the side. Exhale it out behind me, and then bring it into the side. Inhale it out behind me, exhale, cactus. Good. Put the knee back down. Let's move to the other leg. So inhale the leg out behind you. Exhale, bring it into cactus. Inhale the leg out behind you. Exhale, cactus. Inhale out behind you. Exhale, cactus. Excellent. Put the knee back down. Have a rest, and I'll show you the next one. So the next one is opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going to take the left arm out, the right leg out. We're going to inhale here, and then we're going to exhale into cactus. If you want to make it more difficult for yourself, you can have a straight arm and a straight leg. But otherwise, cactus. Okay, so we're going to do 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. So left arm, right leg, stretch them out. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, stretch. Exhale to the sides. Inhale, stretch. Exhale to the sides. Put the hand down, put the knee down. Other side. So take the arm out first, then the opposite leg. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, cactus. Inhale forwards. Exhale to the sides. Inhale forwards. Exhale to the sides. Put the hand down, take the leg back, put the knee down. Well done, guys. That's a really tough little sequence. So take the hips back towards the heels, come down into child's pose, and have a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, start to think about moving. On the exhale, come back up to tabletop. This time, we're going to stretch the left leg out behind us, and then we're going to bring it forwards to the outside of the hands. Then you're going to walk up onto that knee. Once you have one foot forward, hopefully the left foot, but it doesn't matter because we'll switch to the other side. We're going to sink the hips down and just get a nice stretch down the front of the right hip flexor. You can put your hands wherever is comfortable for you. You can have them on your knee, you can have them at your heart center, you can have them up above your head, wherever is most comfortable for you. It doesn't really make any difference. On your hips, in a reverse prayer. Just feel that nice stretch down the hip flexor. You can have a little bit of a bounce and a jiggle around here, rather than just slamming it out at your maximum. And then bring the hands to frame the front foot, tuck the back toes and lift the back knee, and take the hips back and lift the front foot. So essentially we're now trying to get a nice stretch down the back of the hamstring and the calf of the front leg. It doesn't matter whether your heel can get all the way down to the ground, mine can't, but I want to really flex this foot so that I'm feeling the stretch down the back of the front leg. Excellent. Okay, so ground down through that front foot, step the back foot forwards, and then step the other foot back. I'm going to have the same stretch on the other side. So start off, toes up, really flex that front foot, and feel a nice stretch down the back of this front leg. Taking some nice deep breaths whilst we're holding this stretch. Keeping the back as long as possible. Then ground down through that front foot, bring the back knee down towards the floor, untuck the toes, and then walk the hands up to the front knee and sink down through the hips. So we're moving on to that hip flexor stretch on the other side, getting a nice stretch down the left hip flexor. Excellent. And then take whichever hand position you fancy on this side. Doesn't have to be the same as the other side. And then really sink down through those hips. Really feel that stretch in the left hip flexor. Beautiful. Then release the hands. Let them come down and frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under and lift the knee. Now we're going to step that back leg forwards. So we're in a forward fold. The knees can be bent or straight, whatever suits your body. We're just going to take a couple of breaths, letting the head hang heavy like a ragdoll. If you feel like you want to sway from side to side, then sway from side to side. Keep breathing. Then on your next inhale, gently and slowly come to a halfway lift. And then on your exhale, forward fold, bending the knees. And then on your next inhale, make it a really long inhale as you very gently and slowly curl the body all the way up to standing, with the head coming up last. Exhale here, release the shoulders down the back. Inhale, arms up above your head, look up. Exhale, fold all the way forwards, letting the hands come down by the sides of the feet, bend the knees. Inhale, nice long back into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Then take the left leg back to the back of your mat. Either stay on your toes or drop the heel, whatever is most comfortable for your body. Keep a nice bend in the front knee, so the knee is above the ankle. And then inhale the arms up into crescent lunge, stroke warrior one. Have a couple of breaths here. Let the shoulders relax down the back. Keep the ribs tucked in. We don't want to be like this. We want the ribs to be above our hips. Keep the hips nice and low. Keep a nice bend in the front leg. And then really stretch out through that back heel. Feel the power and straightness of the back leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Then step the front foot back to plank. If this is your first class, then you bring your knees to the floor and your chest and your chin to the floor. If you've been coming a while, you can do chaturanga. Then wiggle yourself through into cobra, or if you've been coming a while, up dog. Exhale, back down to the floor, tuck the toes, take the hips back towards the heels for a second in child's pose, and then continue them up towards the sky into downward facing dog. First downward dog of class, so have a little wiggle and a jiggle here. Maybe pad through the feet, maybe stretch the chest towards the thighs, take the sit bones up towards the ceiling, maybe wiggle through the shoulders or the back, wherever you feel you need to move. And then float the left leg up behind you. Bring that left leg forwards and place it between the hands, giving it a little bit of help if it needs. Make sure your knee is above your ankle on the front leg. Take your preferred heel position for the back, whether it's up or down. Pull the tummy muscles in and inhale up into crescent lunge and warrior one. Really keep the hips nice and low. Keep the ribs tucked in. Relax the shoulders down the back. Really think about stretching out that back leg, aiming for the heel to hit the floor or get close to. Couple of breaths in this position. Inhale, stretch up through the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot. Step the back foot forwards. Inhale into a halfway lift, nice long back, long neck. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, inhale all the way up to the top. Look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, long back, long neck. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg this time. Take the toes back towards the back of the mat. And this time we're going to spin on those toes and drop the heel down onto the mat. So your hips are opening up to the side. Then windmill the arms up to warrior two. Keeping a nice bend in that front leg. Keeping a nice long line of energy through the back leg. Really stretching out through the fingertips. So you're really stretched from fingertip to fingertip. And then look out over the front fingers. Flip that front palm. And then as we inhale, we're going to look up towards the ceiling and take our warrior into reverse. Couple of breaths here. Then coming forwards, bring the front elbow to the front knee and take the top arm over, opening the right armpit towards the ceiling, reaching with the fingertips so you are stretched from the very tips of your fingers all the way to the outside edge of the back foot. Excellent. Another breath here. Doing really well, guys. Then inhale as you come back up to warrior two. And exhale as you windmill the arms to frame the front foot, spinning on the back toes. You're going to take the front foot back to plank. Your choice here, either bring the knees, the chest and the chin to the floor, or take the weight over the hands and come down to chaturanga with the elbows tucked in tightly. Then come into either cobra or upward facing dog. With upward facing, make sure the legs are engaged so your knees pop off the floor. Really stretch the chest forwards. Take a nice big inhale, and then as you exhale, take the hips up towards the ceiling, roll over the toes, come into downward facing dog. Again, have a little jiggle if you need to, stretching out the back muscles and the back bones. Then inhale the right leg up behind you. As you exhale, bring it forwards and place it between the hands, giving it a little tug if you need. Drop the back foot down, nice long line of energy in the back foot, and then windmill the arms up to warrior two on the other side. Keep that nice bend in the front knee. Really stretch out through the fingers. Flip the front palm over. And then as you inhale, take your warrior into reverse, reaching up with the right hand, looking up towards the ceiling, allowing the hips to sink down. One more breath here. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, bring the elbow to the front knee, reach the top hand over. Really stretching through the fingertips, grounding down through the back foot, getting a really good stretch down the whole side of the body. One more breath here. And then windmill the arms back up to warrior two. Nice big inhale here. Then exhale, windmill the hands to frame the front foot and turn on the back toes. Then step that back leg forwards. Inhale into a halfway lift, really long back, long neck. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees and inhale all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Then take a turn on your mat so that you're sideways on your mat. Now take a nice big step. And then turn the toes out and come down into goddess. Now from here, we're going to put our hands onto our knees and we're going to stretch out through the hip and the side body. So as we drop one shoulder into the middle, we push the knee away with that hand. And then as you come through center, we drop the other shoulder into the middle And then we push the knee away with a straight arm. So back through center, drop one shoulder in and push the same knee away. Come back through center, drop the other shoulder in and push the same knee on that same side away from you. Excellent. Come up through center and then really stretch up. Exhale the arms down and maybe kick out a bit through the legs. Then we're going to come back into goddess again. Remember, you can always rest if you need to. So sit down into our goddess pose. This time we're going to take the hands up into cactus. Then lift the right heel off the floor and do 3 little dips with that heel lifted, nice and slowly. Then drop that heel back down. Lift the other heel and do 3 little dips on the other side. Excellent. Then put that heel down. 3 little hits with both heels down. And then if you want to challenge your balance, lift up both heels and do 3 little dips with both heels lifted. Excellent. Well done, guys. Stretch up. Exhale the hands down and then do a little kick off of the legs. Really good work. Okay, we're going to stand towards the top of our mats and then we're going to step into side lunge and then step back. We're going to do 6 on one side and then 6 on the other side. Now your lunge can be as deep or as shallow as suits your body today. So if you just want to do a little shallow lunge and come back, that's absolutely fine. If you want to come down and touch the floor with one hand and come back, then that's probably level 2. If you want to be really mean to yourselves, you can come all the way down and lunge without the use of hands, and then explosively, she says, come back. I'll probably go somewhere in the middle. So we're going to do 6. Are we ready? Nice big inhale. Go all the way over. And then as we exhale, come back. Number 2, all the way over. Exhale, come back. Inhale. Exhale, come back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Well done. Then we're going to go to the other ends of our mats and do 6 on the other side. So, getting ready. Inhale, over you go. Exhale, come back. Inhale, over we go. Exhale, come back. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. And exhale back. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, come back. Excellent, well done. Take the feet wider than hips width. Hands at heart center if you can, but if you have any pain and stuff in the knees, then you can use your hands to come down. We want to come down into some sort of yogi squat. So that might look different for all of you. You might be here somewhere. You might find that your heels are off the floor. Do the best you can with the body that you're living in. Excellent. Good stuff, guys. Right, we're going to take our bum all the way down to the floor and stretch our legs out in front of us. We're going to flex the toes and engage the legs so the legs are strong. Inhale the arms up above our head. Then as we exhale, we're going to turn around towards the left and twist. Inhale up through center, and then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up through center, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale up through center, exhale, twist to the right. Make sure those legs are still nice and engaged. Inhale up to center. Exhale one way. Inhale up through center. Exhale the other way. Then we're going to take the legs out to a forward fold. So if you need to sit on something here, then sit on something, just to give you a bit more space. And it doesn't matter how wide the legs are. They might be here, they might be here, they might be here, they might be, I don't know, somewhere else. And then taking a nice big inhale and keeping the back nice and long. We're going to turn around towards the right leg and just gently walk the torso forwards, trying to keep a nice long back and trying to keep the opposite sit bone really engaged with the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. Then walk the hands back up again. Walk over to the other side. Turn the body to face the left leg. Take a nice big inhale to make yourself nice and tall. And then exhale, tilt forward from the hips. It doesn't matter how far you go, as long as you can feel a stretch. And then really ground down through both sit bones. Excellent, one more breath here. And then walk those hands back up. Turn your torso to face the middle. Really engage the legs. Inhale up nice and tall. And then exhale, walk the hands forward in the middle. So we're stretching our legs in, or our hips more accurately, in all the different directions. Nice big inhale here. Keep the back nice and long. Keep the neck nice and long. And just go to where it's comfortable for you. Engaging the legs allows you to have a bit more space. Notice if you relax the legs, you almost have to back off. So really engage the legs. And then walking back up to center. We're going to bend the right leg in. Now, depending on the flexibility in your hips, you might need to do different variations here. So you might just need to bring one knee up with your foot to the floor and just gently encourage that knee down towards the floor. You might find that you can bring this leg up and over, but if your bum comes off the floor, that's not where we want to be. So if you find yourself on one hip, then bring it back and bring the foot back to here and just gently press on the knee. If you've got it within your practice and you can keep both sit bones on the floor, then bring your ankle up onto the knee and encourage both knees forward. And you can lean forward for that. If you lean forward, you'll have more space in your hips than if you stay upright. And just take a couple of breaths here. Have a wiggle and a jiggle if you need to. I'm much more comfortable if I move in this pose than if I stay still. Also, using the breath sometimes allows you to go a bit deeper than where you started. One more breath here. Excellent. Then untangle your legs. Whichever leg is on the bottom, stretch out, and then bend the other leg in. And we're going to move to the other side. So again, you might find that you can go deeper on one side than the other side, but start with the foot on the floor and just gently pressing the knee. If you can bring your foot up and over, that's not in my practice because my bum comes off the floor, then you can do it that way. Or you bring your ankle to the top of the knee, make sure your sit bones are grounded, and then gently lean forwards and get a bit of a stretch on the other side. Some of these hip stretches are really, really good if you've been doing a lot of walking or running or cycling in your allotted hour outside the house, or running around the garden, Mandy, if you're not allowed out of the house, and Ginny, running up and down the balcony if you're not allowed out the house. Yeah. So these stretches are really, really good for getting your hips untied. Excellent. Okay, a couple more hip ones for you. So untangle yourself out of that pose. Take the right leg out in front of you and then cross the other foot over your thigh, wherever is comfortable. It might be down here near the knee, it might be right up near the hip bone. And then just gently have a little bounce of the knee down towards the floor. Then we're going to pick that leg up. So you might find you're holding onto your foot and your knee and you can rock it like a baby. Or you might be able to bring your foot in a bit closer and give it a little rock like a baby. Just really getting a bit of mobility into the hip. Excellent, good stuff. And then let that one go and bring the other foot in. So start by crossing it over the thigh, wherever it goes on this side, and it will be different on one side than the other. And give it a little bounce to start off with. And then if you can, hold on to the foot and the knee and give it a little rock. Or if you can take it closer, try and get the foot into the elbow and give it a little rock. Excellent, well done. Okay, so now we're going to let that one go. We're going to spin around on our mats so that we're back on our mats. We're going to roll the spine back down onto the floor. And because we've been working on our hips, take our feet up towards the ceiling and reach for the feet until we come into happy baby. Good stuff. So you can hold on to your feet wherever is comfortable. I prefer the outside edges. Some people prefer holding on to the inside edges. Some people prefer holding on over the toes. Whatever suits your anatomy is perfectly fine. What you want to be doing is trying to reach your knees in towards your armpits. And then once you've got that shape sorted, to concentrate on trying to stretch the lower back down towards the mat. It probably won't touch, mine certainly doesn't. But working towards it gives you that stretch in your lower back and it gives you the stretch in the hips. Excellent. Couple more breaths here. Then let go of the feet. And if you feel like a bit of fun and you want to do a bit of rocking and rolling, then rock and roll a bit on your back. Otherwise, just come up to seated. We're going to come up over our ankles and our knees and come onto our knees. So master posture for this evening, because we've done so much stuff on our hips, is going to be camel pose. So we're just going to hold this pose for a short while. You want to aim for 6 breaths. And you can take whatever variation suits you. So camel pose for you today might be hands at heart center, reaching the chest and the eyes up towards the ceiling and keeping these hips forward. You might be able to go a bit deeper, in which case bring your hands to your lower back with the fingers pointing down and the thumbs pointing out. Push the hips forward and take a bit of a back bend. Some of you might find this easier with your knees hip width apart and your toes towards one another. Equally, if you're quite bendy in your back and you want to go further, you can keep your hands here and you can bend and you can look for something on the wall behind you. And if you can keep your hips forward, you can then reach for your heels, but only if you can keep your hips forward. If your hips are coming back here, then you've gone too far. You need to be able to keep your hips above your knees. So take whichever variation suits you and do your 6 breaths. Your next inhale, pull the belly muscles in, squeeze the bum, and very, very, very gently come up, and then sit the hips back down on your heels. And be really kind to yourself. Sometimes camel pose can make you feel a bit dizzy or a bit nauseous because we store so many emotions in our hips. So give yourself a moment just to come back to yourselves. And then untuck the legs from underneath you and come around so that you are on feet on the mat, nice and long on your mat. Arms out in front of you, and we're just going to roll down all the way onto our backs, onto the mat, and then let the arms come down by the sides of us. Hugging the knees into the chest. Right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee, and just circle through the hips to give those hips and the lower back just a little bit of a massage. Then take those circles in the other direction. Good. And then keeping the knees hugged in, take the arms straight out from the shoulders and really ground down through the shoulders. So we're going to keep the shoulders on the mat. Take a nice big inhale and then roll the knees over towards the left. Inhale back up through center. Then exhale, roll the knees over towards the right, keeping those shoulders on the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. So we're only taking the knees as far as we can keep our shoulders down. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the right. Excellent, well done. Come back to center. Put the feet down and stretch yourself out long on your mat. Tuck the shoulders underneath your body. Let the arms completely relax onto the floor, palms face up. Let the feet fall open. Any pain in the lower back, bring the feet to the floor and let the knees roll in into constructive rest position. If you still feel like you need a little bit more stretch on the hips, then come into butterfly legs by bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees open to the sides. Whichever position you choose, allow your body to be completely relaxed. And then take the awareness to the breath. Not trying to control the breath like we have all class. Just letting the breath come and go in its natural flow. Let the breath flow in and out of the body as it wishes. As the breath flows in, send it to any tight spots left in the body. And as it flows out, feel yourself relaxing. As the breath flows in, send it to any tight spots left within the body. And as you exhale, feel the body soften and relax. Letting the breath continue to come and go at its natural pace. flowing in and out of the body like waves of relaxation. Then take your awareness to the right hand. Notice where the knuckles, maybe the back of the palm, touch the mat. Heavy and relaxed on the ground. Then working up your right arm. Notice where there is space for light and air between your body and the floor. And notice the parts of your body that are touching the ground. The elbow, maybe the back of the upper arm, the shoulder blade, heavy and relaxed on your mat. Take the awareness down the right side body to your right buttock and right hip, heavy and relaxed on your mat. Continue the awareness down your right leg, noticing the parts of your leg that touch the ground, back of the calf, heel, heavy and relaxed on the mat. Take your awareness to the left hand, the left knuckles and the back of the hand. Feel them being really heavy and relaxed on the ground. Notice the parts of your left arm that are in touch with the floor. The elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder blade. Heavy and relaxed on the ground. Take your awareness down your left side to your left buttock and left hip. Heavy and relaxed on the mat. Notice the parts of your left leg in touch with the ground. The left calf muscle, heel, heavy and relaxed on the mat. And bring your awareness to your torso, working from the pelvis up your body. Notice where the tailbone is completely supported by the ground as gravity presses you deeper onto your mat. Notice where the spine touches the floor, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulder blades, the back of the head. Your whole body is completely relaxed on your mat, completely given in to gravity as it presses you, heavy and relaxed on your mat. And gently bring your awareness back to the room, keeping your eyes closed. Maybe just start by noticing any sounds in the distance. Noticing any sounds in the room that you're laid in. Noticing any sounds in your immediate vicinity or maybe within your body. Then start by just gently moving your fingers, maybe wiggling your toes. Maybe circling through the wrists, maybe circling through the ankles. And then move your body in whatever direction it wants to go. Whether you want to stretch out long from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes, or whether you feel like scrunching up into a little ball and hugging the knees into your chest. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side. And gently flutter your eyes open. And then when you found the energy, move yourself up into a seated position. And we'll finish with 3 breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. For those of you that are particularly partial to lion's breath, then feel free to stick your tongue out. I'm getting waves from Ginny, so she's definitely up for lion's breath. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. We just need 3 breaths to finish together, and then I'll unmute you all, and if anyone's got any questions, you can let me know. So in through the nose. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me this evening. Come and unmute you all.